How you all doing this evening? I hope all is well. We are about to begin this evening as we have a presentation about money. I hope that's okay with you. I hope it's okay that we could talk about money. I think money is a very important topic. I think many of us, we all have jobs and go to a place of work for one reason, to get money. I'm certain we're not going there because we like the bosses, all right? Well, before we begin, let me first introduce myself. My name is Kimral Ali, and I was one of the managers at the Point Lisa Sport many years ago. I was, that was my corporate background. So I am familiar with the working environment, the working world, the corporate world. And now I found myself in a situation that engages a lot of people as a consultant in this whole area of cryptocurrency. I am the husband of one wife and the father of 5 beautiful daughters. And I also, my eldest daughter is married, so I also have a son, if you may. So now, as we continue this evening, I want to begin this presentation with a short video that will kind of introduce where I am going to take this topic tonight. So let's put our hats on for engaging in a wonderful topic this evening. And I want you to take notes, write down, because I think you're in for a really, really wonderful journey, a wonderful ride. Right now, I want you to share the link to anyone that is watching. Share it to your friends, your family, whichever part of the world. That's one of the great things about technology. All right, so let's get straight into it with this short video. See if I could get it here to play. Yes.
Do you pay in cash? If so, how often and for what? Could you imagine a society without any cash?
Money, 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 must be funny in the rich man's world.
Well, you will soon be seeing one. Sweden is predicted to become the world's first cashless society by March 2023. By then, cash will no longer be used as a means of payment in Sweden. Sweden has long been open to embracing new technologies, and its financial system is no exception. In 1661, Sweden was the first country in Europe to introduce banknotes. If Sweden does become a cashless society in 2023, it will have taken 362 years to transition from being the first to adopt banknotes to being the first to stop using them. Over the past few years, almost all purchases in Sweden have been made electronically by debit or credit cards using contactless chip and PIN cards, which have replaced the less secure cards with magnetic strips. More than 80% of all retail transactions in the country are now conducted electronically. This is similar to the decline in cash in other Nordic countries, including Finland, Norway, Denmark, and Iceland. The speed with which the Nordics are quickly embracing a cashless lifestyle strongly contrasts with the countries in the south of Europe, where cash is still a popular form of payment and where many businesses still accept only cash. This is the complete opposite of what happens in Northern Europe, where cash is actually no longer accepted in many establishments. In fact, more than half of Sweden's 1,600 bank branches no longer accept cash deposits or withdrawals. In Sweden, in most places, you have to be ready to pay by card or by using the mobile application Swish. Swish is an instantaneous mobile payment platform which helps make electronic payments easier. It was created in 2012 by the 6 largest Swedish banks. Both banks and government in Sweden encourage citizens to adopt a cashless economy. Swish is now close to becoming the Swedish standard for mobile payments. The application is used by well over half of the population in Sweden, while just 13% of the total population in Sweden rely on cash. Children are also part of the transition. Many Swedish banks issue debit cards to citizens aged 6 years of age or older with parental permission, which translates to more than 97% of the population. Cash accounts for less than 2% of the total value of transactions in Sweden. Several years ago, Stockholm's public transport even stopped accepting cash. Tickets can be prepaid using a mobile application or bought by debit credit card from bus drivers or by using a ticket machine. Residents usually buy a monthly travel card, which is both more convenient and less expensive than buying individual tickets. In an increasing number of stores, signs read, "No cash payment in this store." Most Swedes, especially those in the younger generations, never carry cash. Visitors don't need to worry about currency exchange either. Cash is never needed, not even for small purchases like a hot chocolate at a Christmas market in Stockholm. All vendors have a mobile payment, chip and PIN card reader, or they accept payments by the mobile application Swish. But why the move to a cashless society, you may wonder? Some of the reasons include making transport more secure, reducing bank robberies, and fighting drug counterfeiting and weapons black markets. It also means less tax avoidance. Now, Sweden's central bank is testing plans to introduce its own digital currency, the e-krona, a currency that could accelerate the country's cashless society. The e-krona pilot scheme is planned to start in 2020. The Swedish digital currency could be implemented throughout the country by 2021.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that is what's happening in Sweden. So, I would like to introduce you to what's happening in our lovely twin island of Trinidad and Tobago. But the reason we could be having this discussion this evening is because of the internet. It has changed everything around us. And as you could really understand, our whole life has changed because of the internet. I mean, communication, for instance, right now, we are using technology to communicate. Many months ago, we would probably be in a room at Mandela Hall or in some other part of the country, inviting people to be a part of this in an actual room. But now we're doing this thing electronically. I mean, there are many examples of why we're doing this because of the internet. But I wanted to say that you are seeing what's taken place in Sweden, the forward thinking, the forward move of going cashless. What is happening here in our country of Trinidad and Tobago? Well, this was our quote unquote forward move. The government decided to move from the cotton notes to the polymer notes. The new notes were introduced in January last year, 2020. And this, what I will call a backward move, seemed to be the forward thinking for the country. As soon as there was an introduction of these new notes in the country, look what happened. There was price increases, and it took place immediately from the 4th of January, as you can see here from the Supermarkets Association. People don't realize the implications of this move that took place by the government towards our country, our lovely country of Trinidad and Tobago. Price increases all around. So that there, not only was there a price increase, but there was even a reduction as it relates to the US availability for those who use credit cards and so forth. Your billing cycle, it was lessened from 15,000 to 12,000. Right now, it is even less than 12,000. So we have a dilemma as it relates to foreign notes in this country. But I need us to understand the evolution of money. We live in an age of this printed paper dollar, but we need to understand that it wasn't always printed paper. Many years ago, there was the bartering system. We need to go back to understand where we are heading. What is barter? Barter is trade. It means that we would basically exchange one thing for something else. So, I mean, for instance, if I had oranges and I needed rice, we will exchange. But the problem with that form of bartering was how many oranges would equal a pound of rice. And that was the issue before, so that you could do proper bartering. So we moved from the bartering system to coins, silver and gold coins. Now, this was great. It was working, but then there was also problems. The major problem with gold is that it's really heavy, hard to move around, and people were stealing your gold at will. So we looked for a solution. The solution was put all of your gold in the bank, the lovely banks that we use today. When you deposit your gold in the bank back then, the banks will give you a paper currency or a paper receipt that stated that me, Kimral Ali, deposited 2 bars of gold, for instance, and that would have a certain value. And eventually what happened was they gave us paper currency to match the amount of gold that was deposited. Now, what took place thereafter is that the banks became wise. So back then, your paper currency was really, it was backed by gold because gold was the deposit. But as time went on, the bank realized that people were not coming back for their gold. All they needed really was that paper currency to transact business. And the banks got smart and started to just print paper currency. So now they printed paper currency out onto the market so that there was too much supply. And now we are finding ourselves in a situation that we are in. Money is no longer backed by gold. Now, we have plastic systems like credit card, debit cards, and so forth, but all of these are tied back to cash. Now, this paper currency, look down in the bottom of the slide, it's called fiat. I want you to remember that term. Fiat currency means paper or printed currency. Fiat currency is not backed by a physical commodity. And the biggest risk factor here for fiat is that it will become worthless due to hyperinflation. So from these plastics, we move on to digital systems like PayPal, Apple Pay, and so forth. But all of this is still tied back to fiat currency. What we're going to be talking about this evening, tonight, is about a new type of currency, and it's not really new, but it's been here for a few years well. Now, this currency is called cryptocurrency. It is a totally digital form of currency. And this evening, I want you, as I said, take out your pens and paper because you're going to be getting some pertinent information to help you on this journey and at least give you some basics in the world of cryptocurrency. So what is cryptocurrencies? Cryptocurrencies are protocols that allow for the validation of transactions without the need of a third party, such as banks, credit card companies, or escrow agents. Now, cryptocurrencies have already impacted various arms of the financial markets, but look below the virtual gold aspect. The value of digital currencies depends on supply and demand. Therefore, they are often compared to gold. Hence, it's called virtual gold. So basically, the more that a cryptocurrency is used, the more its demand and value rises. Now, before we talk further about cryptocurrency, I want us to understand the technology behind cryptocurrency, and it's called the blockchain. The blockchain is a digital technology that records and verifies transactions. Now, as I said, tonight is just a basic introductory course. We're not going to get too deep into it. You can do your own research. But what you need to understand is that the blockchain is safe. The blockchain's ledger can track and trace anything of value. It is based on protocols that authenticate, validate, and store information in consistent, unbroken sequences that makes the system safer by eliminating any attempts of fraud, duplicity, and forgery. Certainly, this is something we need today because our cash is easy to forge and duplicate, and a lot of fraud is taking place using cash, paper dollar. Now, we want to talk a little bit about Bitcoin. Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency that started on the market. Bitcoin was introduced back in 2009. Now, way back then, you could have gotten a Bitcoin for 10 cents, 10 cents US dollar for one. After time, now many people said many things about it. They bad talked it. They called it a scam. They called it a bubble that's going to burst. All kind of things they said about it. But today, the value of this thing called Bitcoin continues to rise. And from 10 cents, today, the value of Bitcoin is over 50,000 US dollars. That is astronomical. It is incredible. It could not have been foreseen, but that is what's taking place right now. I guarantee you, you better listen up to what I'm about to say, because you need to understand why cryptocurrency is doing this. But cash continues to depreciate in value year after year, month after month. Our TT dollar is going to lose value and continues to lose value every single time you go to the grocery. So that is what's taking place with Bitcoin. But tonight, we really want to focus on one coin, not Bitcoin. Why one coin? The reason, and there are many reasons shown here, but I just want to focus on a couple of things. The first thing is that Bitcoin is anonymous. What does that mean? It means any transaction you do using Bitcoin, you don't necessarily know who the end users are. But OneCoin has KYC embedded in its blockchain. What does KYC mean? It means know your customer. What that means, therefore, is that we are not anonymous. It means we know who the individuals are that are transacting business. Now, this thing called anonymity is a big problem. Because Bitcoin is anonymous, they have a few problems. It transcends into other problems. If you notice below here, 22% of Bitcoins have been lost or stolen. What do we mean by stolen? It means hackers. People are losing it, and hackers are having a field day. When they hack into someone's account and steals their Bitcoin, what recourse do they have? In the first place, it was anonymous. So really and truly, they've lost their Bitcoins. We don't have that issue here with OneCoin. Our coins are secured on centralized servers, and because of the KYC that is in place, we literally know who and where our coins are, and we don't have an issue. If we ever have an issue, we just contact our centralized servers. We contact support, and support helps us in recovering anything that may be lost, which is very, very slim. Now, we need to understand these differences, because these differences is what is causing OneCoin to continue to grow in a massive way. Now, the other thing I want us to focus on is this, the blockchain. I spoke about it earlier, but the blockchain for Bitcoin can create 21 million coins. To date, they have created a little over 17 million coins. What does that mean? It means that the supply of it is running low. The demand for it is going high. What does that mean? The value will continue to rise, supply and demand. However, OneCoin's blockchain has been created, and it can do over 120 billion coins. And it is growing in a massive, massive way. And we need to understand what is happening with this phenomenon called OneCoin. So let's get started. What is our mission? The aim here is to increase the quality of life of members using the one ecosystem. We have an ecosystem where this OneCoin can be used. What does that mean? With Bitcoin, what people do with Bitcoin is they literally use it for trading, and then they cash it out, and then they use it in that form or fashion. However, with OneCoin, you literally use these coins as a currency. You use it to purchase goods and services within our ecosystem. What do I mean by ecosystem? Here's what I mean. The ecosystem for our TT dollar is Trinidad and Tobago. In other words, our Trinidad lovely $100 notes can only be utilized within Trinidad and Tobago's ecosystem. However, OneCoin's ecosystem utilizes 180 different countries across the globe. What does that mean? It means that I can use my OneCoin in over 180 countries across the globe. That is our ecosystem. That means I can use it in Trinidad, I could use it in Paris, I could use it in Germany, I could use it all over the place where OneCoin is accepted. And that is phenomenal. That is what we are all about, so that we continue to grow the globe and continue to expand and ensure that people learn and understand how this cryptocurrency thing works. Now, this is what our ecosystem looks like. We have different aspects of the ecosystem, but the one I want to focus on right now is this one here called the Deal Shaker. What is the Deal Shaker? The Deal Shaker is that arm where literally you can go and make purchases, similar to, I'm just saying, similar to Amazon, for instance. You go on Amazon, you see something and you make a purchase. But how do you purchase? You purchase using a credit card. But in Deal Shaker, when you go to dealshaker.com, you make your purchases using OneCoin. That is the currency that is used here. Now, let me show you some examples of what's happening right here in Trinidad and Tobago. You could buy chicken, you could buy barbecue, food right here using OneCoins. Look at this, doubles, ladies and gentlemen, using OneCoins. Now, this is my home. This AC unit was purchased using OneCoin. Now, take a look at this. The children threw down the iron and mash it up, and I was able to purchase one using OneCoin. Let me show you some features here. What is the cost for this iron? It's 2.5 ones or 2.51 coins. Okay, so now you want to find out, well, what is really the value of this 2.51 coins? If you look below here, it says below here that one coin is equal to $20 euro. So at the point in time that this purchase was made, it cost me approximately 20 and 20, 40, about 50 euros for this particular item. Of course, you then multiply it, you bring it to TT, and then you understand what I'm saying. That is how you do the math. This is how you decide if you want to purchase something on Deal Shaker, if it makes sense for you. Now, I want you to take a look at this because this is one of my pride and joys. I purchased a home, a 3-bedroom home in Suriname using OneCoin. What was the cost? 5,300 coins for a 3-bedroom home in Suriname. Wow. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm saying. There's a lot happening around us, but we don't even understand what's taking place. Look at this. I was able to set up my doctor right here in Freeport, who is on the platform. And literally, I could go visit my doctor using OneCoin. So 1.26 coins literally translates in dollar value to approximately 300 TT dollars. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how this thing works. All of us, those who are presently a part of this system, we need to go out there and keep talking to other merchants to help them to come on board. And for those of us who are not on board, you need to get yourself some ones. So tonight, by the end of tonight, you need to figure out, how am I going to get some of this currency? Because you know for a fact that that Trinidad and Tobago currency ain't doing you a great deal. You know that for a great deal. Now look at this. I want you to understand something. Look at this vehicle. It's on the platform. This vehicle was costing 2,800, let's say 2,900 coins. At the point in time, the value of one coin was $20.65 euro for one. But as time progressed, the value of one coin went up. So when the value of one coin went up, it meant that the amount of coins you now need to purchase the same vehicle was less. Look at it, the same vehicle. The value of one coin went up to 26.85. So now it's 2,200 coins for the same vehicle, whereas a few months ago it was 28.95. Ladies and gentlemen, what am I saying? I'm saying that as time progresses, the value of your coins continue to either hold or increase in value, which means your buying power continues to increase. Tell me, if you hold on to that TT dollar, does your buying power increase? I don't think so. So this is what I want us to understand about cryptocurrency, and especially OneCoin. Take a look at this.
Trinidad Hilton was today the host to a Deal Shaker Expo, where shoppers had the opportunity to peruse a vast number of booths and pay for their items totally or in part with cryptocurrency. The event, put together by the One Life Network, was an effort to promote the use of cryptocurrency, which they believe represents the future of trading.
This was at the Trinidad Hilton.
It was.
Since I arrived already, I have done my massage, did my nails, I'm having my hair done later on, I'm buying a dress, I bought a house. What else can I ask? I came all the way here with my coins, which I mined with a value of cents, and now I'm using it with a value of more than 20 euros.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen. So that took place at the Trinidad Hilton. As you can see, there were many items that were available. And as I said earlier on, the value of OneCoin continues to rise. It began at 50 cents euro back in 2015. And as you can see, it's 29.95 as of 2019. But today, the value of OneCoin is over 43 euros for one. So this is something that is growing in value and is really fantastic that we need to understand it. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand that today we're not about selling any coins, cryptocurrency. What we're all about is understanding this whole topic. We sell education. We sell educational packages on cryptocurrency and finance. And there are various packages that start from 1,600 TT dollars go up. The choice is up to you. Get back to the person who invited you so they can explain how this whole thing works. At least you need to get a starter where you can understand the level 1 in finance. Now we speak about finance, forex, even the legal aspect of cryptocurrency. And not only that, we also have packages on blockchain. If you want to understand how the blockchain works, that's what we are all about. We sell education so that you can get the understanding, so that you'll be able to be a proper miner, well-educated miner. What does minor mean? Not an M-I-N-O-R. I don't mean someone who is young. I mean M-I-N-E-R, a miner. And ladies and gentlemen, the best person to explain this is the guy that I want to introduce right now, who is here with us this evening. And this guy is someone I truly appreciate, and he understands this thing to the core. And you know, as we speak more about cryptocurrency, I want to introduce the guy who really he has imparted so much into my life, and his name is none other than Mr. Cordell King James. And I just want him to just come now and just close off the evening and give us some pertinent information on this OneCoin. Please put your hands together, Mr. James, as he takes it from here.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ali. It's a privilege to be here with you all this evening. I got a little tied up, so I asked Mr. Ali to help me out a little bit with the presentation. I'll take over share screen. I don't want to present too much, but one of the things that just happened, a friend of mine's just gave me some stuff and asked me if I could find some help for him. Now, I don't know if I could find help for him, but he gave me some stuff and I wanted to show and discuss it a little bit because in Trinidad, we know this currency. This is the Trinidad and Tobago former 100 TT dollar bill. And this TT dollar bill that we have here, this is as good as paper weight right now. Had I had this in 2019 November, happy people, you could do something with this. It makes sense. It's something that could happen. This is Trinidad and Tobago money. And when I held this and I'm talking to him and I'm saying to myself, wow, these old bills, what could be done with it today? What could be done with these old bills today? It's valued nothing, but was once valued so much. And if this is not a demonstration to you that what you think is money may not be money, I don't know when you will decide to wake up. That's the real conversation I want to have with you tonight. I don't want to present too much or over present. Let me see if I could share my screen a little bit with you and show you a couple slides from here. But I heard Mr. Ali extensively speak about the banking sector, kind of give you an idea of where they came from and how they come to be. I heard him talk about the Deal Shaker platform. I heard him talk a few different things well. But you see this concept of fiat currency, this paper currency here, that's guaranteed to lose value. How could you be a human that's living in today's day and age with this coronavirus and this situation that we all facing and tell me, as a brand new listener, as a brand new guest, as an existing IME, that what we have to offer with our one ecosystem, you're not interested in. You're not interested in building the ecosystem. You're not interested in joining the ecosystem. You comfortable and good. If they could do this more than the first time, this is not the first time in history where they just decided to change bills. Money always tends to change its form. But what's the first time in history in your lifetime is this cryptocurrency concept and awareness that is taking place, where we, the people, could decide what is money. And if we decide to trade amongst each other, digitally barter amongst each other, we could then cause the powers that be to accept the currency that we're utilizing as a method of payment. This is a fact. The question is, do you understand? Do you have enough? Are you willing to receive and participate in ownership of a coin? But you could have the coin, but do you have the education and understanding about it? I have a portfolio of different coins, but there's one coin that I have the most amount of value tied into, dominate ownership in this asset class, and that is the one. And the one because of the one ecosystem. The question is, do you have any coin? And if you don't, what are you waiting on? You cannot tell me you know this is the digital age and this is where things are going, and then you're telling me you're comfortable. No, it could never be right. That's not making sense. So what I want to suggest to you, friends, is don't just stay with the guaranteed failure of the paper currency, but decide to diversify your portfolio. Decide to come into the understanding that we sell. So many people are talking cryptocurrency talk. They all bumping their gums. This one talking about Bitcoin, this one mentioning Bitcoin just because they want to belong. They hear it in a movie now. They see it on a TV show. So they see Bitcoin here, Bitcoin, talk about Bitcoin. They see the price, see it, talk about the news maybe. But ask them if they understand what is Bitcoin. Ask them if they understand what is cryptocurrency. Ask them to explain the initial purpose cryptocurrency started for. And they cannot. Any guess here? I dare you to enlighten me. I'm not saying you don't know anything, but I'm saying you may not have the true reality of what the functionality of cryptocurrency should be. The entire concept started and was booted just to be a peer-to-peer digital bartering between point A to point B without the need of an intermediary or a middleman. That's what it was all about, friends. Could you imagine a world without inflation? This is the world the One Ecosystem desires to build. A world with transparency. This is not transparent. This is probably why they couldn't get it changed to begin with. There's no transparency with this, friends. There's none. This is no good. But they had a bunch. See, tonight is a different night. Too many things happen in a day that had me paying attention to so much. I received a text message from my friend in Dubai, and I want to share that with you. So my friend in Dubai sent me a text message along with a little short video, and he said the late founder of Dubai today, no Emirati in the country who is renting. So they have no one in Dubai that's an Emirati, that's a national renting. 100% of Emiratis own their own houses. Whatever an Emirati married, his gift is land and cash. Once they married a local to a local, their gift is land and cash to build a house, and that is from the government. Every year, they get a couple of $1 million loans from the government. And every 3 to 4 years, the government writes off their loans as a gift. He said, this is the happiest nation on the planet. And this is the man who proved his words. He said, every Emirati calls him father. This is a man that had a vision years ago about what he was going to build, what he was going to do, and how he was going to turn this desert into a desired place. I watch countries that's built, like Singapore, that started off with no natural resources, and where they are today. And then I watch the Caribbean. I watch Barbados, I watch Trinidad and Tobago, and I watch other islands around us. And the condition of the people could never be right. And I want to attribute this condition to a form of brainwashing and unlearned economic skills of the natural functionality of what money should and supposed to be. We have a responsibility now with this blockchain technology and cryptocurrency concept, where we can come together as a society and a people, decide to learn together and build together. And you're telling me you're not interested in joining a progressive group like this? You just want to get rich quick? You just want to find out about the coin and how to sell it? No. There's value here, and you can receive value. You can join us, learn, and be able to demonstrate value. You can use it one between each other. You can acquire many different things as we build a platform and educate more merchants to come on board so we can have a bigger group of things available to the society. And you can leave this country and find another merchant in another country that's accepting the same coin you have in Trinidad when you go there. Whether it's new bills or these same old bills, guess what? Can be utilized in no other part of the world. You could be a millionaire in Trinidad and Tobago and leave this country and don't have access to any of your TT dollars because you're not able to receive foreign currency because of the limits provided. And let's say you were stranded or something happened outside. Do you know you're very, very, very broke and destitute? I had a situation where it caused like a day I was under immense pressure, all because I didn't know First Citizen changed the currency rules for foreign currency, and my US allowance finished on the 13th and the new billing cycle was on the 15th or something thereabout it was. And I was stuck for like a day outside there under immense pressure because I couldn't get any currency off of that card. And you telling me with all this technology that going back or sticking or keeping this or allowing all the banking sector to dictate to us what is money is just the right thing? Money should be like a text message. Should be a form of communication because it is communication. And I should be able to communicate with you from my phone to your phone. Normal. From my internet to your internet. Normal. That's where the world is, and that's where it's going to continue to be. So in my humble opinion, whoever invited you here tonight, get started. Position yourself. Don't get weary. Find out how you can get more information. Find out why you need more information. And more importantly, position yourself for that information to be executed and practiced upon. Because this is theory and practical at its best. I'm confident, I'm sure, I'm convinced. So I thank you all for joining this call here tonight. Please get back to the individual that would have invited you. Find out how you can sit down for a one-on-one session if you need more clarity. Find out how you can pay to get started immediately. Find out more about the Eagle program, what's happening with the upcoming trip that's upon us. Just find out what is going on. Because you have heard. But hearing and listening is two different things. Listen to that voice that's telling you, leave a legacy and become a legend. Thank you for your time here tonight. I wish you all a great night, maybe a sleepless night, because may you have some dreams of ones. Humble servant King James saying one's out.